today? I believe she was here. There she is. Where is she?
Hello, everyone. My name is Josephine Adjin. I want to start off by saying that this is not out of ego, by the way. I have a degree in nursing, I have a diploma in film and television and broadcast, I have a certificate in business, and a certificate in travel and tourism. The reason why I say that, and I have 8 children. The reason why I say that is because there's a stigma on the type of people that domestic violence can happen to. It can happen to anyone, regardless of your status in society, how much PhDs you have. I just wanted to get that out of the way. So in 2023, I came to a realization that my children and I were in grave danger that we've been enduring for over a decade. And manipulation, financial abuse, emotional abuse, my eldest children were getting physically abused, and there was just segregation in my household, no peace. So I prayed, I said, I need a way out. I'm afraid, but I need a way out. And I had called many shelters, and I have been tossed around. I was given numbers to shelters that only hosted men. I was like, nobody was really listening to me. And I said, God, you showed me the clarity, show me the path. And what I can only call a divine orchestration, I got connected with the Safe Center of Peel. My primary contact was Anna Daza, and on our first phone call, she helped me set up a safety plan. I said, yeah, this is getting really real. And so I had to stack away my documents and get a piece of clothes for everybody and just put it away in a way that it's not noticed by the partner. I believe it was the same day she booked for me to come into the office at Safe Center. And I had used all the excuses that I can get to make these calls to these shelters. I had run the shower a little too long. I had hid in the garbage room in the hallway. I had hid in the staircase. I had said I had doctor's appointments just to make shelters to phone calls to shelters that were just tossing me around for really just fragmented services because none of it was really whole. So I had to come up with an excuse, and Anna said, we have a children care facility in our office. And I was like, bet, I'm gonna tell the kids that we're going to indoor playground, which wasn't far from the truth. So we got there, I met Anna, and the kids had a blast. They still talk about it after today. And I shared my story with Anna. I cried, she cried, we cried. And for the first time, I felt fully heard, validated, seen. I wasn't making up these things in my head because I believe that over the decade, I had to shrink the abuse in a way that I can control it so that I do not explode because there was no way out yet. But for the first time, I was able to let loose. And I didn't have to go anywhere else after I met the Safe Center of Peel. Everything was within one vicinity. I met with Cheryl, who was the housing support worker, and as I told my story, the Josephine team, as I call them, everybody took everything that they needed from my story to go do what they needed to do for me. I didn't have to lift a finger anymore. And when I got home, I could breathe. And all I had to do was just wait for the phone call that there was a shelter or housing available for me. And so I sat, I waited, and I believe it was just less than a week when Anna called. And she had called other times too, saying that, do I have your consent to send your stuff to this shelter and that shelter? In my head, I was like, please stop asking, just do it. Just do it. And so finally, a call came from her. She said, Josephine, we have a shelter space for you if you can make it within 2 hours. And because we already went through the safety plan, I had everything all tucked away, we were ready, and my children and I was pregnant with my 8th child at that time. My children and I got to the shelter. And it wasn't just that we got to the shelter and that we were left. There was follow-up calls to make sure that we were okay, that we were adjusting well. And then Anna convinced me, because I was afraid of CAS at that time, because there was so much bad talks about CAS, they take away your children. So Anna said, no, the CAS will help you with like resources and even like just the housing and everything. And I trusted Anna, I trusted the Safe Center, so I went ahead and she referred me to a CAS, and I got my worker, and she also helped me with a lot of stuff. And then even as we were at the shelter, we had access to the pantry at the Safe Center of Peel because we needed that because yeah, the finances were rocking those times. But I like to say that the Safe Center of Peel served as a bridge from trauma to one's golden age. I decided to choose life, and the Safe Center was a bridge to that life. And today, my children they're expanding in their creativity. My 16-year-old released his first album this year. My 19-year-old is going to college in January. My 12-year-old has found her passion in art and fashion design. My 6-year-old has found her passion in music, and my 9-year-old has found her passion in architecture. And we're just in a place where we can thrive. I have released 8 digital books, sacred writings, and a 9th one is about to be completed, where I'm putting together my book called The Compendium of Philly Scrolls. So Safe Center gave us that space to not just survive, but to expand. So Neville Goddard once said that the bridge between the unseen and its manifestation is faith. So I have faith that the donors and the funders and the founders and the staff and all that comes together to make Safe Center will only keep expanding, and hopefully soon will operate their own shelter and transitional housing system, because they serve the public, they serve the deserving people with compassionate interdisciplinary care with a crown of dignity. So I want to thank you for existing, for helping me and my family to blossom. Thank you so much.